Good day, everyone. I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things. This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Lucas and Anna Enders claim their contractor left their house a dusty mess, which triggered several severe allergy attacks. Pete Taylor says he always planned to clean up, but the Enders showed up early after telling him they would be delayed.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is a case of Anders versus Taylor. Mr. and Mrs. Anders, you are suing Mr. Taylor for $3,300 for cleaning an air duct replacement. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Defendant, Mr. Taylor, you say you stand by your work.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, I'd like to start with the plaintiffs. Please tell me, obviously, you hired Mr. Taylor to do work for you.
Yes, that's correct.
Tell the court what that work entailed.
He previously did our kitchen, and we thought he did a great job. He was a great friend of ours for many years until he did a really poor cleaning job.
This particular job that is in question here, what did that job entail?
Well, Your Honor, we went on vacation for 2 weeks over the Thanksgiving holiday. We left November 17th, and we were to return and have the job complete December 1st.
What was the job?
The job was to complete the master bath and have it completed by 6 p.m. on December 1st.
6 p.m. December 1st, because you wanted it done when you came back.
Yes, per our contract.
And because you had a relationship with him, you left him there by himself to remodel the entire thing.
Yes, we trusted him.
All right, so Mr. Taylor, you got hired again. These are people you know well. They're clients that you've worked with over the years. And you felt like you were capable of performing the work in the specified time?
Absolutely, Your Honor. This is luxury, high-end work. This is the most expensive custom work. It takes 15 or 16 hours a day just to fabricate and bring in this custom materials and high-end custom work that we're doing. So we thought it would just make more sense if I stayed there while they were out of town.
All right, so you felt that you could get the job done within the specified time? Before
Absolutely.
December 1st at 6 p.m.
Well, that was amended because I have a text, Your Honor, and I took a screenshot of the SMS that she sent me.
At 9:22 p.m.
Excuse me, that she was going to come back actually on the 2nd and not the 1st. And I was relying on that information, and I was planning on cleaning up the morning of the 2nd.
Thinking of coming
All right,
back.
let me have that evidence. And do you have the original contract, Mr. and Ms. Anders?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
May I see that, please?
Yes.
I'm the one who drew up that contract, Your Honor, and I insisted that we work with the contract this time.
And we all agreed to that contract, both parties.
Remodel from 11/17 to 12/1, $9,300, and it'll be remodeled by 12/1. You, Mr. Taylor, brought evidence that says, I'm looking for the text message where you say you agreed to a later time.
It's the third page there, Your Honor, and it specifically states, she specifically states that she's coming back on the 2nd
Job should be
and not
done
the 1st.
tonight. I'm just going to clean up and head out. No worries, Pete. That's Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, we thought he
We
was
are
cleaning up.
thinking of coming home tomorrow morning, no later than noon.
Which would have given me enough time. That's what I was
And you
planning.
But this is my
giving-
point.
Thinking.
Collecting
So
payment
what is it
at that
about
time.
you're mad that you came home and the job wasn't finished at the exact time you wanted it?
So we came home and came home at midnight. We said we were thinking of coming home the next day. So we didn't say it was a sure thing that we're coming home the next day. We said we're thinking of it. So we get home at midnight and the place is covered with dust and
Complete disaster.
So we just thought we just can't. We're tired. We just didn't want to deal with it. I had to work the next day, so we just turn on the heater. It was freezing cold. We turn on the heater. We go to bed, and then
We had to sleep in the guest
we both start
bedroom.
having allergic fits because when we trimmed the dust went through the heater and got throughout the whole house, and we had to use both of us had
Yeah,
to
we
use
could hardly
inhalers
breathe.
to not go to the ER.
And Your Honor, I felt
don't
bad
know
about
the
this.
duct.
I offered them a
Anaphylactic
free duct cleaning and free filter replacement
You all
because
have
of
been
this.
gone for 2 weeks. Why don't you just go to a hotel?
I wanted to be comfortable in my own home.
But how could you be comfortable when there was still dust and debris, and obviously the contractor had not finished the job?
Your Honor, it was the middle of the night, and we were tired from traveling, and we went to sleep in our guest bedroom.
We were exhausted.
Coming up,
You know what? Y'all are dramatic. I don't have time for this. We're here for legal disputes, not just drama. You're being drama kings and queens right now.
and later,
So, Ms. Martinez, you found out about the survey. Was that upsetting to you?
Yes, it was.
And why was that upsetting?
Because she could have just came to me and told me about the money situation instead of going behind my back.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Lucas and Anna Anders, who brought their contractor, Pete Taylor, to court over an allergy-inducing dusty mess.
So you just stayed up all night with inhalers, coughing in dust and debris, so much so that now you want to sue him for an air duct cleaning and replacement because you didn't go to the hotel?
There's a little bit more to it than that,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Taylor, so why didn't you just finish the job that night, Mr. Taylor?
Because I was relying on the information that the plaintiffs gave me, that they would be back the next day at noon.
That's not
I
a
worked
written
16
contract.
hours
But
a
the
day.
point
This is not a regular.
if you agreed in this contract to December 1st, which I see you sign that, what made you just say, I'll just do it in the morning?
Because I considered their text to me, their SMS text to me, an amendment to that agreement which I
That is
drew
not
up.
a formal agreement.
How is a text message not part of our agreement?
It only
All
said,
right.
it only said we're considering coming back the next day.
So where is it in the contract that it states what is the penalty for not being done by December 1st?
It's not stipulated. We didn't even think that it would get to that.
We
Exactly.
created this contract.
Exactly. So you just leave that night and say, all right, I'm going to come back in the morning. But then you get home, it's a mess. You all decide you just want to stay. You sleep in your guest room. There's dust all in the vents. You all have allergy attacks or have to get your inhalers. And now, why are you suing Mr. Taylor?
He didn't complete the job. And there's sawdust
But
in the vents.
you're not suing him for not completing the job. You're suing him
Correct.
because of the cleaning and air duct replacement. And so, what was your plan, Mr. Taylor, as a contractor? I realize, I have done a lot of construction and know a little bit about designing homes. I know that when the job is looking like it's just about done is usually the messiest moment, right? As you've got to just dot those I's and cross those T's. What was your plan in the final hours as it relates to cleaning up the air vents and ducts?
We were working on a very tight deadline. We don't do regular work. This is high-end custom
You said that
boutique
3
work.
times.
I just want you to know how much of my heart and soul my son and I put into this company,
I
Your
want to know what
Honor.
your plan was for
My
the duct.
plan was to spend the last 8 hours that I was contracted for working my butt off to make sure that this job site was clean and that the plaintiff was satisfied and happy by the time they came back at noon.
We were
And
not
so
happy.
you had a plan to clean and vacuum
Absolutely.
and all of those things.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
I've never seen a contractor think that they finished a job and things are still in disarray. So what my question is, before I rule on this, because I find you to be a little bit irrational, Mr. and Ms. Anders.
Almost going into anaphylactic shock is not irrational. We wanted to.
No, what's irrational is if you, do you have allergies?
Yes.
Do you have asthma?
Yes.
So the moment that you detected that something was coming out of the vents like dust because the work wasn't done,
We were asleep. It
So
takes
you-
5 minutes for the heater
so
to
you
kick
were
in.
holding
and
your
we were-
inhaler in your sleep and doing your inhaler in your sleep?
Well, when we woke up choking at 2 a.m., that's when we grabbed the
You know what?
inhaler.
Y'all are dramatic. I don't have time for this. We're here for legal disputes, not just drama. You're being drama kings and queens right now. You've gotten work done by this man over and over again. You should know his process. You said you were his friend. So that means you know the quality of his work and how he does it. There was a miscommunication about when you were going to come home. Your first line of your text was no worries. He said, I'm going to clean up and then I'm going to head out. No worries. We're thinking about coming home tomorrow anyway, sometime before noon. A reasonable person in that situation would say, you know what? I got a little more time. Instead of me trying to clean everything up tonight. And I'm going to tell you one good reason why you don't clean up late at night, because you really do need the daylight to really see what you're doing. It's a better time to clean up in the morning. Now, was he substantially overdue on the work? No, because you say he is done with it. It needed to be cleaned, but you never gave him the opportunity to do that. You could have at least given him until 12 noon, and I would have appreciated if you would have just said, we left and went to a hotel. Pete, here's our bill for $200 for this hotel, or knock $200 off of our balance because we really needed this done and we decided to come home early, but you didn't. You went into this drama king moment about all of this. I don't believe nothing you're talking about. What I believe is you wanted to be dramatic because you decided to come back earlier than what you originally stated. I think it's reasonable in that situation for him to think he has a few more hours. And even if it isn't, what is the penalty for him not having it cleaned up on time? We don't know because it ain't in the contract. For that reason, it is this court's opinion that the plaintiffs are not entitled to collect a dime. You got a beautiful, beautiful new space, and you only had to wait about 12 more hours to get the cleaning done. Mr. and Mrs. Anders, enjoy your brand new space. And if you don't want to hire Mr. Taylor again, I'm sure he'll probably be happy about it. Your complaint is dismissed. Judgment for the defendant. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the defendant. The co-plaintiff's case has been dismissed.
I can't believe you embarrassed me
Your
and
Yelp
dragged me
stars are
in
going
here.
down.
17 years I've been doing this.
You're getting
not friends
sloppy.
I thought we were friends. Getting
Mr. Taylor,
sloppy?
you're
Are you
getting
kidding
sloppy.
me?
You don't care about
16
your
hours a day. I put my heart and my soul into that job. So did my son.
Not
You
your
used to be
problem.
punctual.
You guys are embarrassed me. I can't believe you
Please
brought
follow
me here.
me.
We used to be
Yeah.
friends.
Coming up,
Were you almost trying to get other people to agree with you and to do something less expensive?
Yeah, I had a selfish motive of still wanting to remain maid of honor.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. Kara Gonzalez claims she got stuck with excessive maid of honor expenses after she was disinvited from her best friend's wedding. Nicole Martinez says Ms. Gonzalez complained to the bridesmaids about the cost of everything instead of coming to her.
This is the case of Gonzalez versus Martinez. Ms. Gonzalez, you are suing Ms. Martinez for $927.04 to reimburse you for items bought to attend an event. Is that correct?
Yes,
Tell us why we're here.
Your Honor, I paid a lot of money for a wedding that I could not even attend. Over here, you could see this beautiful dress that I bought, as well as these exquisite heels and some expensive jewelry. And on top of that, I have some invoices for various party decor that I wanted to have at the bachelorette party.
All right, why couldn't you attend?
It started off when Nicole asked me to be her maid of honor. I was ecstatic. That's all I've ever wanted to have for my former best friend. Unfortunately, she suggested things for her bachelorette party that seemed a bit out of my budget.
So what was your total financial obligation to be in the wedding?
In the wedding, a little bit more than what I paid for. So I would say probably about $1,500. I didn't spend that amount because 2 weeks before the wedding, she told me that I was not invited to the wedding any longer.
Okay,
Yes.
Did you tell Ms. Gonzalez that she was not invited to the wedding, Ms. Martinez?
Yes, I did.
And why did you tell her that?
Well, she went ahead and sent out a survey to the rest of the bridesmaids without letting me know.
A survey? A survey about what?
It was concerning the money for the bachelorette party.
Coming up,
The $927.04 you spent on what?
On some jewelry, heels, and a dress.
That's
As
a lot of
well.
money for a bridesmaid for jewelry, heels, and a dress.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with a dispute between former Maid of Honor Kara Gonzalez and bride Nicole Martinez over wedding expenses.
Why did you send a survey to the bridesmaids?
I wanted to see where everyone's head was at in regards to what we were doing, as well as the budget.
So, Ms. Martinez, you found out about the survey. Was that upsetting to you?
Yes, it was.
And why was that upsetting?
Because she could have just came to me and told me about the money situation instead of going behind my back.
And you could have felt like, if you could have just come tell me exactly how you feel, but you felt like she was trying to almost rally the troops against you by going and sending a survey?
Yes.
You thought that was rude?
Yes.
It is kind of rude.
It is kind of rude.
I mean, a survey?
Yeah.
I mean, all you had to do was just call and ask. I mean, hey, guys, I'm struggling. Or I'm not going to be maid of honor because I'm going to be honest. I just don't have the money to do this. And so I'm not going to be able to do these things. But were you almost trying to get other people to agree with you and to do something less expensive?
Yeah, I had a selfish motive of still wanting to remain maid of honor, as well as, enjoying the party with them. But I made a mistake.
Did you tell her, Ms. Martinez, don't come to the wedding and you're not in the wedding party at all?
Yes.
Because you were so disgusted by the survey?
Yes, I was.
So, Ms. Gonzalez, at the end of the day, you feel like since you were kicked out of the wedding completely, that you want the money back for the $927.04 you spent on what?
On some jewelry, heels, and a dress.
That's
As
a lot of
well.
money for a bridesmaid for jewelry, heels, and a dress.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
I don't think both of you handled either situation very well. I think the survey was a little bit too much, and it was rude and petty. And Ms. Martinez, I do think you throwing her out of the wedding completely was a little bit much, considering the fact she had spent so much money trying to make you happy. If people can't afford something, they just can't afford something. And as a bride, you have to understand that. With that said, I do believe you spent this money in reliance on the fact that you were going to be in this wedding. Judgment for the plaintiff for $927.04. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $927.04.
So it sounds like the judge ruled in your favor. How are you guys going to rebuild the friendship?
Probably go ahead and grab a couple of drinks after.
But first with a hug.
Yeah.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.